It's CDuck again is brought to you by Hackensack Brewing Company and their Imperial Pilsner Auga, which was created in honor of the legendary DJs The Awesome Two. THICK CR8S, pure hip-hop satisfaction. Check out their limited edition new releases available now on Instagram. Weaponized Records, an independent music label serving up underground hip-hop. The revolution will not be televised. It will be weaponized. And the Spit Slam Record Label Group. The Spit Slam Record Label Group, a Chuck D situation. Catch us on your favorite streaming platform, on Bandcamp, or visit our official web store at spitslamrecords.com. All releases are available digitally or on CD, with select titles available on vinyl and cassette. The Spit Slam Record Label Group. Throwback to the future sound.
It's C-Doc again.
You know what? There's nothing like running late. Man, and I'm trying to be the latest. What's up, everybody? It's C-Doc again. Welcome to the show. Got another great episode ready for you tonight. We're going to be talking about this guy right here, among other things. But first up, let's introduce the crew. Introducing the crew. All right, anyway. First up, he's got the dopest account on Instagram. If you don't follow him, you are a sucker. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show my man, Ultramag7.
Introduce the crew. You got to see to believe. With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 MC.
There you go.
Oh, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's good, bro?
Yo, been busy. If you don't mind, can I do a little self-promotion?
Please.
Anybody that's listens to the show and you're in the Philadelphia, South Jersey, if you're in that vicinity, I'm having an event with my homeboy Kata Ranks. My man does the and Saturday at 1 p.m. we will be at the Khyber Pass Pub at 56 South 2nd Street in Philadelphia, PA, and we're going to be talking to my man, Mr. Len, who's been a past guest.
Yes.
And it's free. It's free. Come through. We're going to be playing music. There's going to be a live podcast. We're called The Prospective, and it's the pros perspective, me and Kata Ranks. And that's it. Come through. We're going to have drinks. There's a live podcast. There's music. It's a bar restaurant, so there's food downstairs. Once you get there, and it's at 1 p.m., I can send you home and you can still get dinner. It's good.
There you go.
So
I'm gonna miss it by a day. Oh man,
bro, we're gonna be there every month. We're gonna, it's gonna be an event. It's gonna be monthly. So
word.
We'll have people, every month.
That'll be worth the trip at some point in time.
Yep.
So there you go, Philly area represent. Come on out.
Yes, sir.
Good time.
Yep.
Also joining us, the man behind Hip Hop Gods, 475 years in running. He's the president of Chuck D's internet radio station, rap station. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Flatline.
Yeah. Well,
there he goes.
Damn it. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
There he goes.
The show.
Good evening.
Oh, he's drinking. He's coming in hot.
Nice. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm excited for this show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Jennifer O'Jenny's on leave this evening. But salute to her.
Yep.
And let's we'll talk about your new show later, Flatline, the Hip Hop Guys.
Yep.
So we're gonna get into it right now. Our guest tonight is running a very interesting and, so I've heard, very successful little indie hip hop label. Well, I don't say little, you know, it's a thing. I got in trouble for that the one time. Remember, I said little about something. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean it's all right. It's not. All right, I'll shut up. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show. We call him Paul, but you might know him as Thick C.R8S.
Peace. What's up, everybody?
There he is.
What's good, sir?
Chilling. Living the dream, you know?
Yep.
How's
Yes,
everybody
indeed.
doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah, man, we're good. I want to apologize to everybody watching live because I was late. I had to make a quick pit stop in the restroom, and I'm behind on a lot of stuff. It's been a busy day, but it's a good day. That's all right. And we're here now. Oh man, I just gotta shut up. Okay. Anyway, Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. This is one of my quickly becoming one of my favorite web shows. I love the interviews you guys do. You're interviewing people that I'm like, how are they finding these cats? You know, and these are dudes that, you know, I grew up loving their music too. So what you guys do is incredible, and it's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
No, man, thank you. I'm always intrigued by people that are able to create dope stuff.
Mhm.
And you are making that happen on a regular basis. And so let's talk about. And I was gonna pull it out, but it's up there somewhere. Let's talk about the latest release that you have out now.
Yeah. Jazzoon's Heavy Archives 11. Man, there it is right there. You know, the Loud Pack edition. We want all the smoke. You know.
Yep.
Yeah. So let me just say, I'm so blessed to be working with Jazzoon. I always thought he was incredibly talented. He's like if we had known each other in the 90s, we would have gotten in a lot of trouble together. You know what I'm saying? But yo, absolutely one of the most talented producers out right now, criminally underrated. Truly, he's like a national treasure because there are so few personalities like his, and you hear it in the music. His experience is like nobody else's. And so with this Heavy Archives thing, and specifically the new project, I really wanted to try to up the bar for that series, because he had 10 prior to that, 10 different volumes of it. And I know you guys were probably buying all of them on cassette. The first one had a 7-inch vinyl release on Redline Music Distribution. Yeah, right, with Jameson. So shout out Jameson. But after that, you know, it was cassette only. So knowing that those first 10 kind of closed the initial chapter, 11 starts a new chapter. And so, you know, Jazzoon and I talked about it at length. You know, what we're gonna do, how are we gonna make this special? How are we gonna one up the ones previous to this? So, you know, we went to the lab, and what you hold in your hands is the finished product, and I'm extremely proud of it. I think sonically it's incredible. I love the beats. You know, the Heavy Archives series it's so dope, and to be a part of that is like an honor to me, because I fully respect what they built, what Jazzoon built with Strictly Cassette and with Redline, prior to 11, to me getting an opportunity to press one of those up. So you know, give it to me, and I'm gonna go all out with it. So you know, we had the sticker packs, we had the Obi vinyl, we had the you know, the cassettes, which
that's late night, but you know,
I know, the sticker packs, and I mean, let's talk about that, because and I know all of you guys are from that era, but if anybody grew up on 90s rap, Come on, man. Like that was the sticker was a huge piece of the promotional push for a project. Yeah, you know, yo, and let me just I gotta shout out Disco Von Doom. That's my art guy. Yo, he helps me with so much of this stuff. It wouldn't be possible without him. And you know, a lot of it is like, yo, I think we should do this. And, you know, is there a way that we can make it look like this? And he'll tinker with it. We'll go back and forth. And eventually we'll come up with what we need. And he oftentimes just exceeds expectations. So I got to give him a huge shout out. Disco Von Doom. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate everything. And there's other artists that we've worked with as well, but Disco is like the in-house dude. You know, that's my guy. So a lot of those stickers, a lot of that design work is Disco Von Doom on the actual software making it happen. And it might be me like, yo, let's make it look like this or that, but you know, it's him actually making that happen. So shout out to him. Yeah.
Whose idea was it to do the glow in the dark stickers? Because those...
that's me all day long.
Yeah, bananas.
and yo, straight up, like if you're on the block at night, right, and everybody puts stickers up on the block, there's one sticker that's at nighttime that's just gonna be like, yo, who the fuck is Thick Crates? What is Jazz Soon? You know? And yeah, absolutely. That was fully intended. And that started when we had done the HWH 8 instrumentals. HWH 8 instrumentals. There were okay. I'm sorry. No. It was the HWH 3 instrumentals. My fault. We did 8 and 3. So 3 came after 8. But when Camouflage Monk had submitted the project, he was like, yo, I have some outtake photos from the original HWH3 sessions. And this is like, if you know Hitler Wears Hermes 3, that's like a $2,000-$3,000 record on Discogs. You know, one of Guns, one of the, I think the most sought after titles in his catalog. But Monk had photo, like so the photo that you see on the actual album cover of HWH3, you know, Monk was there and he had other photos that were from that same session. And he said, yo, check these out. What do you think? And I was like, yo, these are crazy. And this is perfect for the cover. But when we were doing the cover artwork, I was like, let me just try something right quick. And I isolated Gun's image from the photo, and it came out perfect. And I was like, yo, this is a sticker. So I went ahead and did the glow in the dark sticker for those. And that was like a hype sticker for the first 50 copies of each variant. And so that's been a tradition that I've kind of continued with a lot of the projects with Camouflage Monk. But this Jazz Soon, when I was like, you know, his throw ups and his tags are so dope. I was like, yo, we got to make some glow in the dark for these too. Yeah. So yeah, and the 45 King stickers you guys got, there's glow in the dark joints in there too. That's a big part of it though. I feel like those types of things coming with your order is like it's not like other labels aren't thinking about that. They're not doing that.
Makes such a big difference.
And again, you know, if you grew up on 90s hip hop, stickers were everywhere. If you were going to open mics in the 90s, you would see stickers all over the place, you know? And that's a huge piece of it to me. And I definitely, like, I want to continue with that, because if I'm out in another city and I'm just, you know, kind of in a place where it's like, yo, I think, you know, people would notice it. Yeah, I'll put it up, you know, and word of mouth is crazy like that. You know, just seeing things, somebody might look it up and, oh man, like there's this whole catalog of, so yeah.
That's the attention to detail stuff that guys like us appreciate.
Oh yeah.
I mean, really appreciate
it. Me too. You know, I basically, the way I try to run this is like, yo, if I was buying this, what would make me hype? You know?
Yeah.
I've been throwing them joints up all around Jersey. I told you. Like today, I took the train, and the spot that I put it up before, they took it down, so I put one right back. Put one right back up.
I'll send you more. You are doing God's work, sir. Thank you, Ultra Mag.
Yo, it was funny. I got the package and I opened it up, and Rocco, my little son, came in. He's like, he saw him. He's like, yo, one of those. I'm like, get out of here. Don't even get out.
Too young for that. You're too young for that.
Yeah. He's like, those stickers. I'm no, go away.
I mean, that's all. It's all part and parcel with the Thick Crates drop, and moving forward. I always want the fans to have something to remember, the supporters to feel like, yo, I really got my money's worth here because, I'm sure you all know, but rap records are mad expensive now, like mad expensive. So a lot of this stuff, especially when it comes to like contemporary underground rap, those are coming from overseas. You're paying like $30 shipping, that's like a $80-$90 record by the time you get it. Spend $40 or $50 with us and see what you get. It's gonna be more than worth it.
Yeah, that's dope. So speaking of rap and hip hop and that kind of stuff, how did you what got you into it? What was your I call it the gateway drug. What was your gateway drug?
Yeah. I gotta give all credit to my uncle Doc, Dwayne Graves. 1988, Christmas. He took me. Man, I can't even remember the store, but he stood in line. It was like holiday lines, and he bought me Run DMC Tougher Than Leather. And I was like 8 years old, and the way that shit made me feel, like beats to the rhyme, the Nautilus samples, Run's house, like how hype, and I'm a kid. Like I don't even understand what I'm feeling right now, but this shit is so crazy, and I think that's like the feeling that I'm chasing to this day, with every project, man, But that was the start, and then I moved around a lot. I'm originally from Washington D.C. My parents had pretty difficult divorce. They couldn't agree on anything, so I wound up having to go with my pops in the later part of the 80s, and he moved out to LA, and so I had cousins out there, and I was already up on the Run DMC shit. I'm still young though, so at that age you're not really aware of everything that's going on. You're just like, yo, this is cool, right. This is really dope. But man, I remember one day my cousins in Cali, man, I was probably like 9, maybe 10, and they played me NWA Straight Outta Compton. They played me Too Short, Born to Mac, and 2 Live Crew, Nasty As They Want to Be, all in the same day. Wow. And I was like, yo, you can do this on a record? Like, it was so crazy. But I remember the way NWA made me feel, like Straight Outta Compton, like that production was just so tough. You know what I'm saying? And I remember becoming like more aware of what was going on at that time, and we finally had cable when we moved to Cali, so I got to see a little bit of Yo MTV Raps now and then, and I was seeing stuff like Audio 2 and Biz Marquee on there. It was a great time for rap, and I didn't have parents that were like, yo, you can just sit and watch it every time. It was like, if I could catch it, I could catch it. But that was definitely the spark. And then I think, man, like in the 90s, that's when I started really becoming aware. By like 95, man, like I was like, yo, this is it. This is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? This I'll be here forever. So forever and ever.
So did you want to DJ first? Where you got started?
So like initially I started out rapping. I had a bunch of friends in Maryland, DC area. Some of them you may know. Like I had DJ friends also. So I very much, I was just in the mix. At that time, you know, it wasn't a thing where like you just do one of the, you do all of it. You know what I'm saying? You try your hand at everything, you know?
Yep.
And simultaneously though, you know, I had DJ friends, and man, like that like shout out to Flip One, DC DMV area. Yo, he was like, I was like 15, 16 years old, and I remember going to his place. You know, we were still living with our parents at the time, his mom's apartment, and like, yo, I was going through his records, and I seen like Biz Marquee records that were like Biz Marquee 12 inches that were picture covers with gold stamps, like promo copies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you remember, like if you were shopping at like Tower Records or places like that, the Cold Chill and stuff you would see in there was like reissues. They weren't picture covers. It was like the pink sleeve with the, you know, and it was just one song on each side. It wasn't like you got the dub and the double-pella and all that stuff and shit. And I remember being like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I know this Biz record, and I've never seen this shit with a picture cover. Yo, what is this? And I think that was probably the thing that really got me hooked, like on vinyl right there. And so also, you know, people that I was around, they were trying to produce and DJ as well. So that was all part of it. And the DJing was so fascinating to me because, you know, we were at that time, like 95, 96. I mean, really, you could go back to like 92, 93. But for me, 95, 96, 97, we were seeing a total like change in DJ culture as well.
Yeah.
You know, you saw the ISP versus X-Men battle. That shit, yo, that shit changed everything. And I mean, the ISP had won the DMC battles previous to, or as Rocksteady DJs, you know what I'm saying? But that one, the ISP versus X-Men battle, yo, that shit changed everything. I remember just looking at that. I you know what really fucked me up? The first time I ever like actually like got to listen to it, I only heard it. I didn't have the video. I just heard the audio. So, oh man, yo, that shit was so crazy. So basically, you know, that was I was so inspired, and I you know, I already loved records. It made perfect sense. So I started DJing as well, you know, record collecting heavy, and I got I really got schooled on DJing by a couple of people in the DMV area. One is Flip One, who I mentioned, and then another one is DJ Rockdacon. Some of you guys might know him. He had done some work like in the early 2000s. I don't know if you guys remember the Money Lotion records on Turntable Lab. He had done one of those. And he's, I mean, if you look him up, he definitely had a good run as a DJ. He's not doing it anymore, but at the time, you know, like 99, 2000, that was also a friend that I really looked to as like, yo, you're dope. And not only that, but you have dope records, and you understand. And I think for me, some of these cats were a little older, so I'm like the young dude that's like, yo, show me about this, you know, or just watching, just observing. And that was an incredible time for me. I mean, I think that informed my taste in hip hop heavily. And you got to also remember, like, at the time on the radio in DC, yo, it was hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like you could hear Raekwon Criminology on prime time on the radio back then. So, you know, there's certain DC DJs that I would hear on the radio also that were just like killing shit. And I remember just like thinking like, damn, like, you know, their cuts are so clean even on the air. It's a lot of cats can cut in their bedroom, but when you put them on the air or in front of a crowd, it's a totally different story, you know? And, you know, to hear it on the radio, I think that really shaped my understanding of what DJing should sound like, what hip hop DJing should sound like. And, you know, DJs like Funk Regulator CeeLo, rest in peace. DJs like DJ Book from DC, like there are several people that I can name, but you know, those were cats that I was listening to, and simultaneously also picking up mixtapes from other parts of the country. But yeah, that was a major part of it, and I think that kind of fueled a lot of what I would go on to do in the 2000s up to now.
When did you start gigging out like?
So
early on?
it's crazy. I never really was like, yo, like I said, my friends were training for like DMC and shit.
Okay.
And like those were fucking evil sessions. Like if you sat in on those, they was killing. That fucking shit was whack. You need to change that juggle. That intro was bullshit. I mean, like, yo, they were really going for it, and I was around that shit, and yo, I just remember feeling like I probably have a different path with this DJing shit, although I want to be nice like that as well, you know? And I didn't have aspirations to really be a battle DJ. I was just like, yo, I just want to fucking do hip hop so heavily, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's really what kind of like started the DJ fire. And then what happened was, like, in 2001 or 2, I was living in New Mexico with my pops, and I was going to school, and so there was a college radio station, and I had a friend that was already DJing it. And so the way it worked, it was like a Friday night show from like 10 to 2. And we could play curses. We just couldn't curse on the air when we were talking. But if the record had curses, it wasn't a big deal. So, yo, like, I would listen to that show and just be like, damn, man, like, this is cool to hear this on the radio, especially in a place like New Mexico, because coming from DC, it was just there. You know what I'm saying? But going out there, it was like, it definitely wasn't as evolved as the scene in DC was. However, they were trying. And so I noticed that in regions like that, the underground records that they would play were like super underground. Like there was some, like, sometimes we would call it like janitor rap. Like, yo, this dude that, like, this dude put out this one record and it was dope, but he's also a janitor, you know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what he's focused on. So it was a lot of that shit. And I guess maybe I'm skipping some eras because, I was also a part of like the tape trading shit, like that old era of like the really underground, like, yo, show me your list of what you got and I'll show you my list, and you dub me this and I'll dub you that. And I did all of that shit. So, that was like, I think that was kind of like a really good way for me to sort of to bring something to the table in terms of like a radio show, because I had a lot of shit that, that people just weren't up on or just couldn't get their hands on, And so I had this one friend that was like, yo, you can DJ dope. You got like dope records. Why don't you come up and help me with the show? And I was sort of like, man, it's a drive. And, I was a father young, like at 18, so I had stuff that I had to do, that was completely separate from hip hop. And it was a lot to do it, but I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it, and I had a blast the first time. I still had to learn. You have to learn. You have to go through the ringer as far as like radio DJing, because you're not gonna be perfect immediately.
Yeah.
And the shit that I was aspiring to was like some big shoes to fill, so I paid my dues, and I went up there every week, or at least when we had a chance to, because the way that the program worked, it was like there was a few teams of DJs that were doing it, so we would rotate every week. But yo, I always tried to have something ready for my set, and always tried to have new records and something dope that the other DJs weren't playing. So that was my start. Radio is really my start in DJ. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay, so I've been, because I see the shirt and everything, I gotta ask, when did you meet Mark? How did that all happen?
Okay, absolutely. So I met 45 King in 2015, buying records from him, right? So basically the way it worked, I think back then he had like a website, it was 45king.com.
Yeah.
And you could like email him, and it was the site that had the like, it had the multi-track on it, and it would play it, like the site played beats, and you could isolate the drums or like take out the loop, and you just hear the bass line. So that site, and I'd hit him up on there and was just like, yo, he was selling the box set 2, I believe is what it was called, box set 2. So you guys are familiar with that? C-Doc, I bet you probably have a different incarnation of it. It's the one that has MASH and Oprah and 3 and No Kidding and Red Alert. It's 545. Okay, right.
I think that's the one. But he sent me like,
it's a different incarnation of it, and I can
and he sent me extras. He just threw some extras in there.
Really?
And so yeah, because he gave me some doubles of things. So
yes.
When my dude M-Rock was out, I'm like, yo, I got some extras. I gave him to M-Rock. I was like, here you go. Because I'm like, spread the wealth.
Spread the love. Spread love.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, he had that. all I wanted from Mark was I wanted the hat. I'm like, Mark, how much does a hat cost? I need a 45 King hat. He's like, I got you. And then he told me how much it was. And so he's like, send it to PayPal. I did that. And then motherfucker sends me a package, all this stuff, and then he refunds my money. I'm like, Mark.
Yes. Yes. Now you maybe kind of understand why those thick crates packs are like brolic.
Yeah.
That was, listen, man. King was one of the most generous and kind-hearted people that you would ever meet in his whole lifetime.
Yeah.
So, doing things like that, like if you showed him love, he was definitely trying to get you back. And that's something that's one of the many things that I watched and really took notes on. And he was always, he always told me like, yo, you're nice like me. You're kind to people like me. You got to be careful because, people will take advantage of that, and so it was still dope to see him doing what he did and just being the person that he was. But I know that there were times, and he would tell me about specific things where it was like, yeah, I did this for this person, or I did that for that rapper, and I don't get a call on my birthday. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so he really kind of he really showed me the right way to be giving. You have to be careful with it. There's certain people that maybe aren't as receptive to it. But he was absolutely somebody that he loved to make people feel good, make people feel happy. Like that was something that he truly enjoyed. And I think you must have really made a good impression on him, C-Doc, because for him to do something like that, man, he liked you, man.
Yo, man, he was like, it all started because I was doing Chill Rob's record. I wanted to do the Chill Rob record. And Chuck managed, was kind of cool enough to put me in touch with Rob, and Rob was down with it. And so I said, I'm like, Rob, can we do the flavor unit track? Get some of the people on it. Right. He's like, yeah, I'll call Lakim and I'll call Double J. I'm like, okay. I'm like, hey, is there any chance we can get Mark on it? And he's like, I'll ask. Yeah. But I don't, Mark doesn't really want to be on the record. I'm like, all right. But he put me in touch. And I was like, Mark's like, what do you want me to say? He's like, oh, wait, what am I doing here? What do you want me to say? I'm like, just say something like this. And I just made him a list of things to say. And he literally said it all verbatim and said it back to me. I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah,
that's perfect,
that
Mark.
Sounds exactly like Mark.
Right, exactly. And so put it on the song. I'm like, and I'm so geeked. And that's when, and so I sent him the song and I'm like, what do you think? He's like, it's okay. I'm like, all right. I got. Oh, it's okay from 45 King. I'm cool with that. At least he didn't say it was whack.
Everybody that was close with 45 King got it's okay from 45 King.
Yeah. But But the one song, there's a song on the album called Bang. And when Mark heard that, he called me. He's like, yo! He's like, the way you did this. He's like,
the drums and it. Yep.
He was bugging.
Yep.
He was bugging. He goes, yo, man. He said some shit that was so funny. But
and it immediately washed away that it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I couldn't believe it because, like, you know,
your fucking legend just told you your shit was dope.
Legend.
Yeah,
man,
man,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Like, he's made some of my favorite records ever.
Man, oh yeah, we definitely gotta get into that too. But
yeah,
yo, so okay, so I'll kind of give you like the buildup of how we started doing records together. So
yeah.
So met him in 2015, buying records from him, you know, and the craziest shit was like I'd send him an email, like he got my order, and then he sent me an email, and then he followed up with a voice recording, which is like not everybody will do that. And he was like, yo, it's just too much of a mess to type out. Yo, I just wanted to see what, you know, are you a DJ? Do you want me to autograph your copies? And so I sent him a voice message back. I was like, yo, man, you know, go ahead and sign him. I really appreciate it. And from there, we just kind of started talking, man. Like I would make more orders with him. We would talk a little bit more. And like I would tell him like, yo, I'm coming back to buy like 3 more box sets. You know what I'm saying? And he'd be like, yeah, we'll see. You know, people always say they're gonna come back and, you know, I'll come back and buy 3 more box sets. He'd be like, oh shit, like you all right, you know, I see. And at the time he was like, yo, I really appreciate it. You know, this is helping me out a lot. And so, you know, in talking with him, now, okay, so the box set 2, there's actually 2 45s in that. It's MASH and Oprah, and he would give you doubles of those. So you get 4 45s in the entire box. But at this time, he already pressed 3 more 45s from that series. So I was talking with him, I was like, yo, Mark, man, like, you know, maybe it might be smart to put the other 3 in the box set too and make like a new box set, like a deluxe one, you know?
Right.
He was like, that's a good idea. Yo, you know, I'll think about it. You know what I'm saying? And a week later, he sent me like a video message like, yo, you inspired me to make a new box set. And like, you know, he was printing out the stickers and that was what would, some people know it as the pizza box set. It opens like a pizza box. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty durable. I think the box itself may be made for like, maybe like reels or something like that. It's not intended for records, but you know, he just kind of, you know, fashioned it for that. Yeah, so, you know, he started doing those boxes, and he called that the box set 5. And that's because it had all 5 in the series. So for all 45 King collectors out there, box set 1 is the one that came out in 1993.
Wow.
I don't know if you guys.
Oh my God.
Wow.
This is like the, you know, this is the first box set. Now, and I want to get into some shit about this because you guys are really like historians. You guys are very astute.
Yeah.
Who was doing 45 box sets of beats in the 90s?
Nobody.
I'll wait.
No one.
Nobody.
Okay. And now the market is flooded with beat 45s. 2025, you got a million people, and yo, I welcome it. Some of them are dope. I love to see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I love to see it. But we kind of, I don't know if credit really gets given where it's due, because this is the dude right here that did it first. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, you know, he makes the new box set 5. Okay, yeah. So all right, sorry for the collectors. This is box set 1. Box set 2. If you go on YouTube on 45 Kings Making the Beat channel, you can see his promo videos for box set 2. There is no box set 3 or 4. It just jumped to 5. So don't feel like there's like 3 other volumes that you guys need to catch. It's 1, 2, and 5.
And 5.
All right. Yeah. So anyways, you know, as I'm buying 45s from him, and we kind of start talking on the phone, and like he's like, oh, so what do you do? What are you into? I'm like, I immediately, like, I was the illest 45 King fan when I met him. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to ask questions about all the old shit. Like Ultra, I know you probably would have done the same thing. C-Dot, you probably would have done this. You probably did the
I
same
did.
thing, because I know you did. Yeah, okay.
I did. Yeah.
So, I would ask him questions about old projects and like, yo, what about this record? And what were you doing when you were producing this beat? And what did you like? What was the experience like working with this artist? And at the time, I wasn't really aware that not every project comes with good memories for him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you might be like, you're kind of navigating a minefield, to be honest with you. Like, if you're asking about, oh, well, what about this? And what about that? And what about the cover on that? You might get some like, oh, actually, like, I hated that fucking cover. I didn't even sign off on that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's crazy, like the things that you would actually learn, speaking with him, and maybe certain things he's not going to talk about in public. It's just or in an interview. He wasn't the type of dude to really talk negatively about people. You know, and that's a tremendous quality, because you know how hip hop people do it, man. Everybody wants their props. So, and it can become ugly when people that we look up to sort of get into these like sort of like high school skirmishes about who did what, So, anyways, I would still ask him shit, even if it was like, it may not be the answer that I wanted to hear, or it might have been some shit where he's like, oh, you brought back a bad memory with that. But he would still tell me. He was very like obliged for me. I don't know. Maybe other people he probably would have been like, but he would actually tell me shit. So, a couple of years of talking and just kind of building on stuff, like he would hear me cut. We were FaceTiming, so he would hear me cutting. He'd be like, yo, cut my record up. Let me hear you cut my record up, And so, I would do it. And he'd be like, yo, like, you could scratch. Like, you could actually scratch. Like, you could do all that shit, And I was just like so fucking nervous to show him anything, because that dude is like incredibly fucking dope on the turntables. And maybe not in a DMC kind of way. I would kind of say more in like an old school Bronx b-boy kind of way, which is even more special, because nowadays, man, you can go and you can study how to learn a chirp flare crab combination on YouTube. There's like a 21-year-old that's breaking down how to do that shit. But you could never Google how would I have been a dope DJ in the Bronx in '76. You know what I'm saying? You can't download that kind of information. You just had to have been there. He was there. His understanding, and I mean, there's so much that I learned from 45 King, in so many realms, but DJing is one of them. And I don't even know if there's enough time tonight to get into everything, but yo, dude was absolutely one of the illest DJs, and he didn't give a fuck about a flare scratch or a crab scratch or any of that shit, but he was ill in a way that like a lot of DMC DJs, they don't have the knowledge base to really be there. And that comes from real experience. I mean, he told you in the interview, C-Doc, that he was the record boy for Breakout from the Funky 4+1. Dude, you're the record boy for Breakout in the Funky 4+1 more. Like, you're handing him the records that he's rocking the fucking party with. And if you make a bad decision, he may be like, no, give me another one. How much more fucking b-boy do you get?
Right.
So basically, man, these couple of years, we're talking a lot. We started talking every day. We just got we got real cool immediately. And he after like the first year of us talking, I would I would be on FaceTime with him and he'd be making beats, you know, he'd be cooking up right there, you know.
Yep.
And a lot of times, man, I would just sit there and shut the fuck up and just watch. You know what I'm saying? Don't bother him. Don't
Right.
don't ask him, hey, where did you get that snare from? Just let him cook, you know?
Right. Yep.
And so I saw that for years. Like years. Every day. Every day. And I mean, like when he would get new software that did isolations before Serato stems, like he was just like, oh, it's over. Just you know, just wait till you see. And towards the end, like before he passed, those were a lot of the stuff that you see on Instagram are the beats that he was making when he got the isolation software. You know, so you start hearing little pieces of shit. You're like, yo, this is like the very end of like it's just begun. Like the very end where it goes gun 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 gun. You know, like also, you know, at the very end of the song, man,
God, God,
that
God,
echo,
God,
yeah,
God.
there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. And you're like, yo, what the fuck? Or it'd be something that had like a beat over it, but somehow he just got the words out. You know what I'm saying? Or it would be some shit that had guitars and all types of shit all over it, but he just got the drums out, you know? And so, yo, I was watching all of this. And, you know, it got to a point to where after like a year and a half, like he would play so much dope shit, not just shit that he was making, but he would also play stuff from his archive, you know? And I heard so much shit that I was like, yo, what are you doing with this beat? Why is this beat not out? Like what? And he was like, ah, he always used to tell me, he's like, man, like, what's another record gonna do for me? I did like 100. And it's true, like if you go into his catalog, he has over 100 fucking records.
So many records.
Crazy shit. He used to tell me, he used to be like, yo, like, I've been around the world and I did the remix. What's this gonna do for me? You know what I'm saying? And he literally did the fucking remix for Lisa Stansfield. I've been around the world. Yeah. Like, so I'm like enamored and I'm having the greatest time just kicking with him and hearing all this stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And one day I just remember asking him, like, yo, like, are you gonna make some more records, man? Cause like all this shit that I'm hearing you make is like dope. Like really, really, like this should be on wax. And he was just like, you know, I've been there, done that. I don't really need it to what's another one, you know? So I would bother him. Like, I think it got to a point to where it was like, no, I'm not gonna put this on record. So,
bro, same thing, man. I'd be like, because he'd FaceTime me and be like, yo, check this out. I want to play this for you. And he'd just play me these. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like,
yo,
Mark, come on.
Yo,
what do you want to do? Let's put this shit out. He's like,
yo, you preaching to the choir, C-Doc. Yo, so straight up, man. It was like a year and a half of me hearing all this shit. And I was like, yo, Mark. So this is probably like October 2016. It's probably like maybe even November. It's probably like the fourth or fifth time. I'm like, yo, he played another dope one. I was like, yo, man, what you doing with that one? Oh, you know, it's just here, you know. So my pops, he got real sick. My biological father, because 45 King at the end was calling me his son, and I call him my pops because he meant that much to me, and you know, was just an incredible presence in my life. And I feel he's still here watching over me. And so 45 King, man, like he was such a kind person, you know, and my biological father had gotten sick like January of 2017, and it happened very suddenly. And so, you know, he essentially, you know, he wound up going to the hospital, and he passed about a week after going into the hospital, but he walked into the hospital, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it was almost, I had just seen him for Christmas in 2016. You know, we did the Christmas thing, everything was good. And yeah, so he was living in the Bay Area in Oakland, and I get a call from him on like a Monday, like, hey, I'm in the hospital, you know, I think everything's gonna be good, but you know, I just wanted to let you know. And it wasn't, my pops was a real, like, you know, he didn't really show a lot of emotion and shit, you know, so it wasn't like, hey, come out here or anything like that. It was just like, yeah, man, you know, right? So like Wednesday, Tuesday, I get a call from his brother, and his brother's like, yo, I don't know if like he's got much longer, he need to get out here, you know. So I went out there, and man, like, you know, me and King still maintain daily contact, FaceTime all the time. You know, how's your pops doing? You know, all of that. Very concerned, you know. And my pops wound up passing that Friday, and like I was there with him when he passed. You know, I held his hand as he transitioned, and I remember coming out of the room, and I wasn't really like, I you know, a lot of people lose their parents and they're just completely disheveled. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just it's a lot. It's a lot. I don't think I was not hardly in shambles. I mean, you could certainly, I felt it, but it wasn't like I was like, oh, this is the end of the world. You know, I knew I was gonna make it through. But I like shortly after my pops transitioning, I hit 45 King on the FaceTime, and like immediately, I don't know how he knew it, but he was just like, he looked at my face and was like, yo, your dad died, didn't he? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And I was like, yo, you still don't want to press this record, man? And so King was like, your pops just died, and you're asking me if I want to press the record. Fuck it, you must really want to do this fucking record, man. So like, fuck it, let's press the record. So the first record, I sent you guys the digital of it. I'll show it to you. Yeah. So we did this. This was actually pressed really for Large Professor's birthday party in 2017.
Oh wow.
Basically, I've been hearing a bunch of ill-ass beats that King was playing. King had a couple of beats that he wanted to put on a record, and I was like, well, can we kind of like, can I pick a couple and you pick a couple, and we'll just, you know. He was like, yeah, let's do that. So this is it right here. Let's see. I don't know how it's, you can see.
Yeah,
that's number one of them right there. It's still signed by him. This was very, like, it wasn't some shit where it was like, yo, we're going to make 1 million copies and we're going to go platinum. It was just like, yo, I want some dope ass shit to DJ. And I know you want some dope ass shit to DJ for Large Professor's birthday party. So yo, we put our minds together and we came up with this. There's 5 exclusive 45 King beats on this one. The first one was a beat that one of his DJ friends wanted, so he did an edit specifically for that DJ friend. The next 2 beats are beats that I chose, and the final beats are beats that he chose. The final 2 beats are beats that he chose. So it's, I guess, unofficially titled "You Ain't Got This," but it's literally like, it's a white label with, I stamped and numbered them, and he signed some. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know those records that sometimes you pick up in the store and you're like, there's something on this. It's so plain looking, but there's something on this. I just know it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we were going for, you know. And so the craziest shit is like, so he had 45 King, like all of his friends, they had special ringtones. If you were really down with King, you had your own custom ringtone that he made, or that he requested that you make for him, and he would use that as your ringtone. So he would know it was you when you were calling, right? Yeah. So I did cuts for my ringtone. You know what I mean? He was like, I like the way you cut. So I said, yo, I'm gonna just cut up, and I cut up Chuck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 4. So I cut that shit up. That was his ringtone for me. And so he's putting the beats together for the records, right? And for this first record. And I'm like, yo, he sends me the mastered version. You know, we put it together, he sent me the mastered version. And my fucking cuts, the ringtone cuts are on the master version. And I'm like, yo, this is Mark, you know, like I just recorded these cuts into like voice record and iPhone. I could do those same cuts for you for real, like record them. So he's like, no, I like the ringtone. I'm gonna put the ringtone in there. So my first cuts ever are on this 45 King record. My first cuts ever on vinyl, I guess, are on this 45 King record. Not at all by my decision, purely by his choice. I mean, I literally offered him like, yo, I could give you like a studio recording version of these same cuts. No, like I want the ringtone. The ringtone is what's going on. All right. You don't argue with a man like that. Right. You know? So that was our first record, man. And that was my first vinyl, and certainly was done under his guidance. I learned a whole lot specifically about 45s. You know, King had an entire formula for it. Like, yo, this much time per side is going to give you the loudest loudest possible volume that you could get on. He had it down to a science already. So I'm just kind of like taking notes and essentially doing all of the work to get it manufactured, but under his guidance.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's my first piece of vinyl. Is You Ain't Got This with the 45 King.
Oh, that's so dope. That's so dope.
Woo! DJ Mark.
Yep.
Hold on one second, man. I got something going on here with the Bluetooth.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we're good now. My fault.
No, there you are. Okay. So you took that experience and is that what catapulted you into doing more records?
Well, actually, my second record is also with 45 King. This would be the second record right here. This is Private Press 1 and 2 box set.
Shit.
So I did send you guys the digitals for these. These don't go out a lot. You know, it's just they're so special to me and to King. And so
wow.
Damn.
Hold on. Let me take it out. Hold on. Okay.
Bro.
Right. Hold on.
Oh,
Oh my God. Come on.
But hold on.
Oh, that's so fucking
It's
dope.
a set. So there's two.
Damn.
Yo, this picture, like I have a crazy story about this because I wanted this picture on the record so badly. And he had a picture like this from probably the late 90s that was on his wall in his hallway. And I was like, yo, Mark, let's use that picture for the B-side of the second picture disc. And he was like, oh man, like that shit's in a frame, man. I gotta get it out the file. I don't want to do all that shit. You know, he didn't want to be bothered with certain shit. You know, right. I understand it, you know. And basically, I was like, yo, I just need that one picture. That's the final, because we were literally putting together like the artwork pieces for what are we doing on it. Like we really worked on these together. You know what I'm saying? So, so basically, he was like, I think he sent me like an iPhone photo of the 90s photo in the frame. And I was like, yo, Mark, we can't press a record off this shit, man. Like, are you crazy? Like, this is going to blow up. It's going to look mad pixelized. No. So what he did was he went and got a professional photographer and retook that fucking photo in front of the same Beamer with the Beats license plate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, you want to talk about like giving and you know, true kindness, that dude. And I could tell you that's like just hip hop shit. I could tell you life shit about him that you know, it far surpasses anything hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to just say this, like on the record, King, he definitely, like, he appreciated when people respected him as a producer and you know, thought that his art was dope. He liked that. But I think he more, or I think at least the equal amount, and probably more, in my eyes is more, he more wanted to be known for the good person that he was. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody had the opportunity to really get to know him. You know, I did. And you know, that I, hands down, that's one of the greatest human beings that I've ever met in my entire journey.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but I treasure it. I only got to know him for about a year or so before he passed. You know, unfortunately. But those calls, man. Anytime you call, it was
legendary,
legendary.
Yo, and you know what's so crazy is, like, we used to have FaceTimes with like four or five people. It'd be like me, King, Double J, the battle rapper Big K, and sometimes Kid Capri would be in on it, you know. And we'd all five of us would be on there just fucking cracking jokes and having the best time, you know. And King loved Kid Capri. That was one of his best friends. King loved Double J. That was one of his best friends. Rest in peace, Double J.
Rest in peace,
man. I love Double J, man. Double J. King always used to tell me, like, yo, like, I can't bring you around my friends because you just become their friends and shit. Like, everybody just fucking love you and shit. But you know, Double J, let me just say, that dude, because Ultra, I know C-Doc, Flatline, I know you guys all know that first Double J album, you know, the one on 4th and Broadway, like,
Hitman, right?
The Hitman, yeah. But
yes, sir.
Yo, bro, let me tell you, the shit he was doing after, like the shit he was doing before he passed, yo, that motherfucker got so good at rhyming, crazy good at rhyming, like way better than what you heard on the Hitman,
bro.
Way better than what you heard on the Hitman.
The verse he gave us for Rob's album is ridiculous.
Jay, listen, man, Jay used to send me demos of shit that he was working on at home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to press records with Jay and King. Like, I wanted to keep going. King just kind of, like, you know, he would kind of sometimes he'd be into it, sometimes he was just into other things, and that's cool, man. You know, you let him do what he needs to do. I was just fortunate to be working with him, you know, and the fact that he really like really took me under his wing and you know, made it a point to tell other people about me, you know, other friends of his. Yo, this is my man Paul, he's dope. You know, you could DJ, he could cut it up, you know, he's that type of shit, you know. And you know, he really had a way of just kind of like of really like looking after me, you know. And I'm a grown man. I was like, yo, my kid is 26 years old, you know. But he still looked out for me in that way, you know. And man, like, I'm just I'm so grateful for that. But you know, that was something that I feel like a lot of people, they didn't really get to experience that side of him. And you know, that was certainly one of his brightest traits and greatest characteristics.
Man.
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I just because it makes me think, because Mark is special to me because when I first started to learn how to rhyme, like me and my partner, none of us were DJs, so all we had was like cassettes. So I used to go out and buy the 45 King instrumentals, like Master of the Game and all that, and we would just rhyme over those, like, because we had open beats.
Absolutely. Listen, like, I don't think people really understand how fucking prolific he was.
It's crazy.
If you go, because everybody like, oh, Hard Knock Life, Stan, 900 Number, you know, Ladies First, like, those are phenomenal fucking records. But no, like, really go deep and understand understand the significance of lost breakbeats. You know what I'm saying? That whole series. Yo,
The whole series.
You know Ultra. Yeah, you fucking know. Yo, man, listen.
Oh, popcorn.
And he's not even look. Those records, that's not it from the 90s. He has weird shit that he didn't even do on a fucking it looks like some shit that's like, yo, who pressed this? But you put the needle on that record and them beats fucking slam. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, man, King is somebody that like is a. I don't feel that he's mentioned enough in the greatest producers of all time lists.
No.
Right?
Nope.
And the thing is like, if you go back and look at everything he gave us in the 90s, and then the shit he gave us in the 2000s, I don't know of many other producers that were making beat albums that prolifically, as well as producing rap records, actual rap records that were successful. I mean,
that were dope. That were
that?
constantly dope. Like
they were constantly dope. That's
the level. Yeah. He was always up to the level, man.
Right. Yeah. And you know what's crazy is, if you really followed every single one, because again, there's some weird ones, like some shit that, like, when you look at it, like, he's got lost breakbeats, but do you know about one that he did just called breakbeats?
I'm trying to remember what's on that one.
Is that the Ghetto label, or is that?
It looks like some ghetto shit, but it's like,
yeah,
it's like, there's a couple volumes of it actually.
Right.
I'll give you another example.
When did that come out?
Dude, I want to say maybe like 93, 94, somewhere around there. Like, some of these.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Some of them don't even have dates on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could go through a list of 45 King records that most people don't talk about that all have some incredible shit on it. Like, and I mean, you know, now that stuff is drying up. You know, it's going to be harder and harder to find those in the wild as time goes on. But if you were copying them when they were coming out, or you were smart enough to cop them before they dried up, man, there's so much gold in all of those records. And then you go to the 2000s, beats of the month. Remember who you guys were getting the beats of the month? Yo, then, you know, he's got his 45 breakbeats for dummies. Little dummies, you know, you got like, and this is on top of still making dope rap records. You know, and that beat record catalog is crazy. Yo, this is another thing, C-Doc, and I maybe you can run this by Chuck, but 45 always told me that the S1Ws had a routine to 45 King beat record called Just Beats, 1987.
Wow.
I believe the beat that they had a routine to was a song called Raisin on that album, but I'm not 100% certain. And I was just for history's sake, I would love to know, what fucking 45 King beat did the S1Ws have a routine to? Because King had said that the S1Ws had a routine, and it was specifically to one of the beats on Just Beats, 87.
You know what? I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know the routine. I'm gonna have to go. I have to go dig and see.
Okay.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, because I always wondered what that was.
Yeah. Well, if you have audio of it or something, send it to me, and maybe we can do some work and try to like figure out what it was. Okay. I have the record for sure. So you know, if I can hear the beat, I could probably immediately identify it. You know.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta find it. Okay.
So, kind of circling back to the second record, the Private Press 1 and 2. So, just another 2 years of hearing dope shit that wasn't coming out, you know. And I was just like, yo, it's time to do another one, man. And this time, let's really go there. Let's make some picture discs. Let's make this shit fancy, you know. And so this one was really interesting because I picked a good, like, I got to comb through the recessors on that project. Like, I mean, I was like, yo, I was hearing stuff from his archive, but I was like, yo, I want to go to shit that he forgot about. You know what I'm saying? So the craziest thing is like, yo, sometimes when we would be on FaceTime and I would be cutting records up, I would cut some of his shit. And he'd be like, yo, what is this? I'd be like, you made this. He'd be like, I made that? But yes, you fucking yes, this is just, 1997. This is the, you know. And he was like, wow, that's pretty dope. Send it to me. You know?
Send it to me.
So this fucking dude made more dope shit and forgot about it than some producers will ever make dope shit, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's incredible. So again, you know, my argument for him being deserving of one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time, because and you know, my personal opinion, I know everybody else has their taste, that's cool.
Yeah.
Premier has gone on record saying that 45 King taught him about kicks and snares. What do we love about Primo beats?
Kicks and those snares.
You know?
Yep.
I mean, yo, think about like All for the Cash. You know, like the beginning of All for the Cash. That how hard that shit hits.
Yep.
Wait. Pete Rock is known for the horns. I heard the horns first with 45 King. Then later, I heard him first with Mark.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm certainly not here to take away credit from any of our legends. I love them all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But for me, and for my understanding, King definitely deserves to be in that conversation more than he is. You know?
Yes, sir.
And I will
Yes,
fight
sir.
for that until the
Yes,
end
sir.
of time.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All day.
Mm-hmm.
All day. So when did you? Okay, so let's talk about, because you said Jazz Soon was the one.
Yeah. So yo, check this out. This is like, and I know it's all over the place, guys.
No, it's okay.
Reel
It's all
me in
good.
if you need to, but like, so basically, man, like, by the time, okay, so I was buying records from Jazz Soon, tapes also directly from him back in like 2018, 2019. Like, I was buying the Heavy Archives cassettes as they were dropping, you know, and I would get them from Jazz Soon. It was so dope, man. He would do the shit where he would, like, on the Instagram stories, he would grab the megaphone and be like, yo, Paul, your record is on it, you know, and he'd be your package right there is ready to go. It was the dopest shit, man. Jazz Soon is the coolest fucking dude, man.
He's a riot, man.
So classy, but also just such a flair personality wise that you don't see in a lot of producers are like hermits, you know. A lot of them, they be home all the time, and they don't get out there and really like go live, man. Sometimes I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of the basement and go dance with a girl. You know what I'm saying? Go have some drinks, go listen to some fucking hip hop in a club setting, and then go back and make some beats, because you need that experience too, I feel, you know.
Right.
And so basically, you know, Jazz Soon was always super dope to me. And yo, this is like, I'm doing records with 45 King, and I'm checking out other shit. Yo, I fucking buy records for real. Like, I really, I still am there at Westside Gun drops, you know, trying to catch the shit before the website crashes. I do all that shit, you know. So basically, like, I had done, man, and we're gonna skip because it's a lot of history. But after the first two records with 45 King, I had done like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Deep Fried Records in Brooklyn. That's DJ Clear and Louis Lou, who was King Son's DJ. So those dudes had seen the work that I did with 45 King, and 45 King was like, yo, man, you really like making records and shit. You be asking me to press records all the time. He's like, yo, you should go press records with my man Louis Lou. And so like he introduced us, and then, you know, through Lou I met Clear, and Clear was like, yo, like, we've got some really dope music that you know, we want to start a label, and we want to press some vinyl, and we see that you have some experience with pressing vinyl, and you know, would you be down to do some work with us? And so I did 5 records with Deep Fried. The first one was I believe it was 5. Hold on, I made memory may be failing me, but it's 4 or 5. But I did the first one was Dez Andres, DJ Dez from Slum Village. It was a 45 called More I Want. And then I did a super low key, like mad rare breakbeat 45 where like nobody knows the actual real records, you know, like you couldn't know them because they're in a different language. Like at the time, like we couldn't Google Translate. Like there was no fucking like. Which Soulbuck did play some of that on the mix.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Soulbuck.
Yes, yo, killed it. Thank you, Soulbuck. Salute, bro. Thank you, bro. So I did those. Then I did Dez Andres, Kaye Luna. I did the Curtis Vodka SP1200, the 45. I did DJ Clear, El Camino, and International. And these are all under the Deep Fried label, but I was overseeing the manufacturing of the vinyl specifically for them, you know. And then man, what else did I do? There's some other. Yo, I'm on number. Heavy Archives 11 is number 18 for me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And if you go on Discogs, I probably got like 10 or 11. There's shit that I don't even put on Discogs. You know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers just go find that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a real digger is supposed to do. You know? Those first 2 45 King records, not on Discogs.
Yeah.
Not on Discogs. Nope. And there are people that purchased them, you know, because we sold those directly through our Instagram pages, you know? But, you know, it's not something, to me, it's like, yo, I could go on there and put them up there, and I guarantee, yo, the test pressings of those picture discs went for like $600. Like back when we did them. I'll send you the video. King made a whole video about that shit.
Wow.
But you know, I probably have a small fortune in rare 45 King records. You know what I'm saying? But it's not about that. You know, and these picture disc box sets, they were available to people, but you know, a lot of people slept. You know, so there will be a time where, and there's, god damn, it's so complicated, but I will say this: I will be, well, myself and the family will be carrying on 45 King records.
Word.
Yep.
That's dope.
Yes.
So
that's dope.
But I will say there's still some things that are being ironed out in a paperwork sense. You know, a lot of contracts. He did a lot of work. You know, that's going to take a little bit of time. But when that's all tidied up, you guarantee, and you will see me right there at the forefront. You know what I'm saying? I will be pushing that. And so King basically, like, he had you know, he had kind of said, yo, man, like, you really love doing records. You need to go work with all these, you know, these people that you want, you know, like, dude, have fun, you know, we'll make more records when it's time. And I was cool with that, because I don't think he was such a fucking veteran that, like, he wasn't as hype on it as I was, you know. I was young and new to it and fresh, and you know, he was kind of like, you just starting on this shit that I already, you know, like, I finished this shit,
I already did this.
Right. Yep. So anyways, Jazz Soon, like, I had been reaching out to him, just, you know, purchasing cassettes, and like, we had a cool rapport. And then I think in 2022, I believe it was, he had reached out to me and was like, yo, like, I got this project, and I don't know if, like, I'd like to do a vinyl for it, but I'm not sure if it's possible. You know, this is kind of like my idea, and you know, here's the project, check it out, take a listen. You know, he sent it to me, and I was like, I mean, I already knew that at some point I was gonna reach out to Jazz Soon and be like, yo, let's press something up. You know, because he was like, I think at that time, you know, you had the Heavy Archive shit, you had the Taxi joint, you had New York Radio, you had the Beastie Brown shit. Like, he had a lot of shit already on cassette. It was that shit was slamming. Like, it was, you know, it was dope.
Yeah.
So he was already on my radar in a sense of like, yo, I want to press something with him at some point. But we just didn't really like, we knew each other, but we didn't know each other, you know. And he had reached out and was like, yo, I got this project, check it out, man. Like, let me know what you think. You know, would you be interested in maybe pressing this up? And I was like, remember when Mr. Len told the story about Prince Paul, like telling him like, yo, I got a record that I want you to press up, but I'm not sure if you want to. And Len was like, yo, I already know I'm going to say yes, but go ahead and explain the project. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was basically like that. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And I heard it and I was like, yeah, this is like, this is a dope jazz super project. It may not be the same as like the same style as Heavy Archives, but it's still dope. And I was like, yo, let's make this shit happen. So we were talking about it and it was like, yo, like what label should we hit? Like, you know, I wasn't a label. I was pressing vinyl just because I fucking love to do that shit. I help my friends out. You know, I love doing shit with King. It was like, it just felt like, yo, this is some natural hip hop shit, you know? Right. And Jassoon was like, yo, we should do it under Thick C.R8S Records. Like, that's a dope name for a label. And I said, yo, all right, cool, let's do it. So, you know, I was originally, like, I had the name Thick C.R8S since, like, fucking, like, 2004 or something like that. Like, I was, originally, it was going to be a record store. Like, I was going to open, because back then, I was already, like, to a point to where I was digging for multiple copies of shit. I had sealed copies of shit, you know, like, I was stockpiling for, like, when it was time. And then as a DJ, you know, like, certain records, you find them and like you cut them up and they burn the fuck out after like 2 years. Your doubles are burned and you're like, yo, I wish I would have bought all 5 on that fucking shelf when I first got my doubles, you know? And as I got older, like in my 20s, my early 20s, like late teens, early 20s, I knew if that's one of those ones, every time you see it, get it. You know what I'm saying? Because you may never do it again. You may never see it again. Yep. And so originally, man, it was going to be like a record store, you know? And I think I wound up working a record store job when I first moved to Denver in like 2005, I think, to be here with my son. And like my first gig was at a record store, Independent Records on East Colfax, right? And I did that shit for like 2 years. It's like a manager over there and like a lead manager over there. And man, like this was like, they wanted us to fight shoplifters and shit. So I was getting fights every fucking day over stupid ass shit. Like for real fights, like motherfuckers were like, this is, you know, it's kind of centered in like, I don't want to say like hood, but there's certainly some drug activity and some funny shit going on in like some of the side streets where this record store was located. But anyways, I was like, yo, I get free vinyl, I get promos and shit. That was cool for like the first year, right? And then you like constantly fighting shoplifters and just the bullshit that came with that. Was like, yo, I don't know if these promos are that cool anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if these tickets to this fucking Atmosphere show is really like, feels like it's a, you know. So I remember just like kind of thinking like, damn, like retail, you know, like vinyl sales and shit. Now I've seen it from behind the counter. You know what I mean? I have a little bit of an understanding of how it works, how distributors tie into this whole thing. You know, I did want to kind of really gain education on the science of like manufacturing and retailing music. You know what I'm saying? And also I wanted mad records. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to have access to shit. And it was a really dope gig, but at a certain point, it was just like, you know, I was coming home telling my kid about like, yo, today this happened and I had to tackle this motherfucker in the middle of the street. And when I tackled him, all these fucking CDs flew out of his waistline on the pavement and shit. And like my friends, my kid was like, yo, he was like, damn, dad, like, you know, that's, and my friends are just like, yo, what the fuck are you doing out there? Like, one of these motherfuckers gonna pull a needle out their fucking pocket and stab you and shit. And you think it's cool being like fucking, you know, Billy Badass because you can fight and shit. Like, it's not smart. You know what I'm saying? And I think there were a couple of times where I was just like, all right, like this, this is starting to get stupid. So, um, I eventually left that gig, but that was definitely like another piece to the total equation of me wanting to like manufacture records. And it would be still like another decade before I'd get to actually manufacture a record, but
Right.
I think that played a pretty big part in it as well. And you also have the whole thing like Discogs and eBay, like all those fucking things are blowing up and people are making tons of money on there, right?
Yeah.
And I myself was like, yo, I probably have a couple things that I could flip too, and I was doing some of that. Young dad, man, that hip hop shit help you put extra money in your pocket, man. Like it's
Yeah.
dope. That's dope, especially when it's like, yo, this is literally like your knowledge base paying you because you know where to go find this shit. In a room of 1,000 records, this is the one to take home. You know what I'm saying? So that was like that was a major part of it, and I kept digging. I kept watching what was happening in the vinyl market. And that was such an interesting time because the type of hip hop that we love was like kind of hurting at about 2008, 2009, 2010. Remember, like, they'd be like, you fuck with that type of shit? Ugh, And I'm like, hell yeah, I fuck with that type of shit. What type of shit you listen to? So I went through all that shit too. Anybody that really was down with this hip hop shit really experienced that. But then you get to see like, oh shit, like 2015, like King is putting out new 45s. And then you got this dude named West Side Gun and this guy named Conway, and you got this whole new like sort of like underground East Coast shit bubbling again, and it was so fucked up for a long time, man. We had like Mad Villainy in 2006 and like, but I mean, and I'm sure you guys were all playing that demo like 2 years before the shit. I know you guys, man. Ultra.
Taught it hard copy.
I know. MF Doom signed mine, but yeah, that was a beautiful time because, we struggled through some shit, but what came out after it was like it's given life to this hip hop shit again. You know what I'm saying? And
the Renaissance.
And listen, C-Doc, I know you're a huge fan of Phonolim Records, myself included. I literally, like, when I started doing this shit, I was like, that's kind of somewhere in the realm of where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that you pointed out in an interview about Phonolim that I think was so fucking astute was that Bobbito was doing it all on his own resource.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Same thing here. Like, if you hear a 45 King beat on a Thick Craze Records, that's because I know 45 King. You know what I'm saying? If you hear a Jazz Soon shit on it, it's because I know him. You know what I'm saying? If you hear Camouflage, that's because I know him. I fuck with Camouflage, Mark. I thought all of these people, they're like family. You know what I'm saying? And so that, I've also been tremendously blessed in the fact that like 45 King really looked out for me and tried to make sure that people knew about me. Before he left, he would tell people like, "Yo, that's my son." Like, and I remember, man, he did this interview on it might have been Lord Sear. It was like a web interview, right? Like a web radio show interview, and he was saying like, he said something like, yo, he's like, yeah, like my man Paul, like I just give him all my beats and like I let him hold on to him. He's like the archive for 45 King shit. And like they were like, oh, like tell us about. He's like, yo, that's like, it's like my son. And like, yo, he's like my sex therapist, and like he talks me to sleep at night, and like he told me how to do this with it, like, and make my girl squirt, and like I was like, that's between Mark. What are you doing, man? But that was the kind of like, that was the type of relationship we had, man. And so he really did a lot to kind of to make sure that when I actually made my my entrance into this shit, people would some of his friends would know me. you know,
Yeah, that's dope.
and I mean, yo, some of the people like Double J, I fucking love Double J. Double J was a good friend. Like me and him got really tight. You know what I'm saying? Lakim Shabazz, yo, salute Lakim, much love, God, peace, bro, peace. Great person. I love Lakim. Like, you know, all of King's friends kind of like became my friends in a way, and it was completely organic. You know, we would sit around and crack jokes. Yo, let me tell you something. Flavor Unit snapping sessions, best shit ever. Funniest shit ever. Oh my God. Oh,
I can only
yo,
imagine.
Double J was the funniest motherfucker on the planet. Yo, I've heard Lakim is really good at that shit too. I don't think I've gotten to see Lakim in rare form with the snaps, but I've definitely seen Double J and 45 go back and forth for the whole day. You know what I'm saying? Just the greatest shit ever. I mean, like, yo, I'm looking at this and I don't even, you know, in my 30s, and I'm like, I'm seeing how to be best friends in your 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, and it wasn't even something that he was like trying to show me. It was listen, man, King had so much that you could gain knowledge and understanding of really complicated hip hop shit, life shit, just from watching him. You know what I'm saying? Just from watching the way he interacted with people, the way that he treated his friends, the way that sometimes his friends treated him, you know, all of that really helped to kind of like to show me that, yo, like, you can be doing this hip hop shit in your 60s and be dope still.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You could be friends with your crew that you made records with 30 years ago. It doesn't have to be some like dramatic breakup shit. You know? Like that's priceless. You know what I'm saying? Like more than and yo, I've sat there and watched King build a beat, not just like, yo, all right, I kind of got this already hashed out. I'm at it. No, like build it. You know what I'm saying? From scratch, from bare bones. And yo, like he was somebody that was so giving in that way if he really fucked with you. And to see that, you know, to see that kind of like also be a part of his friendships, you know, and his relationships with people. Yo, it was like the perfect example of how to age as a b-boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Word up. Word up. Paul, you got any announcements on things coming up?
Oh man. Fuck.
I mean, you don't have to say it.
You want to fuck him up? Hey, you want to fuck him up? Let's go.
You know, whatever you want to give to put out there.
Okay, so look, the next two are with one of my fucking favorites. Ultra, I think he's one of your favorites too. DJ Mr. Len from Company Flow. You know
oh my God!
The next
I see him Saturday.
Yeah, you see him Saturday. I hope he's not mad at me for announcing this. Sorry, man. No, I don't think he'll be mad though. But the next two will be with him. Now, we kind of, these are tricky records. The ones with Len, he has a particular vision, and I want to execute to the finest, most minute detail. I want it to be perfect, and I want every artist that works with me to say, "Yo, fucking with Thick C.R8S was a blessing. Like that was the dope. I made some of my dopest records with him, you know." And absolutely, like Company Flow was so important to me in my upbringing. You got to remember, like 96, 97, you know, that's like 16. When y'all motherfuckers were 16 and 17, I know that hip hop shit was like just like it took over. Yeah, you know, and I was the same way. And so a lot of what we were hearing in 96, 97 was like that initial independent hip hop movement, that renaissance, Ultra, like you said. There's many renaissances, and you guys are older than me, so you have witnessed several renaissances. But I myself, I was there for the 90s. I saw the 80s too. I wouldn't say I was in it, but I was in it in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? 2000s, I saw that shit. the tape trading era. I saw underground rap die out. I saw it become, like more mainstream, to underground rap coming back, to underground rap surpassing a lot of shit that is happening. But this, people don't really understand how deep this hip hop shit is, and how many different like revolutions we've seen within this last 30, 40, 50 years.
Yep.
And so anyways, Company Flow, Fun Crusher, huge part of my hip hop history, as well as Organized Confusion. I almost, and Ultramag, of course. You don't have those without Ultramag, but and I also like to just say, Prince Poetry, salute to you. That's my fucking brother. You know what I'm saying? And that is a talented fucking MC. You know what I'm saying? That is a king of the pen. You know what I'm saying? Him and Monch, come on. But anyways, Len, man, like Company Flow, huge deal. And him and 45 were cool, so it was a situation where like sometimes 45 would be like, oh, I'm gonna call you back. Len's on the other line. I'd be like, yo, just say this for me. Just say, I love Company Flow. Just say that for me. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, what the fuck is Company Flow? I'll call you later. But Len and I connected, and he was like, yo, I'd like to do this record with you. And then that kind of turned into another one as well. So we got two. Those ones, man, like, again, I'm really attention to detail. I'm trying to make them exactly as Len envisioned them. So they're taking a little bit more time than we would have liked. So I can't give you guys a guaranteed ETA on that, but I'm trying to make that the next one, or the next two. And I think that should still be able to happen. Aside from that, though, all right, I'll give you this one. Camouflage Monk and Boldy James. Yo, Ultra, what's up with you know about Vega 7 the Ronin?
Nah,
okay. I just put you
gotta
guys
write
up.
this down.
I put Vega 7, VEGA, and the number 7, the Ronin.
That's what you was telling me the other day on the mixtape, right? In the comments, is that?
No, I don't think so. No, I think we was talking about stuff from the Final era, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. I wrote it down.
Yo, Vega 7 pen is fucking crazy. And if y'all, he's got projects already. It's underground though. Like not everybody really knows about him. So him and Monk, him and Camo Monk, like I heard Vegas shit, and I was like, yo, Camo Monk's production will fucking fit this perfect. I think this would be like maybe one of Vegazilla's projects, Wow. So that then you're gonna see a full beat album from Dez Andres, Dez from Slum Village, DJ Dez, Architect from Homeless Derelicts.
Wow.
That's my fucking bro.
We need him on the show.
Art.
Yes, we do.
Please, Art. Yep.
We can get him.
Oh, yeah. Yo, Art is fire. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And here's the thing, like I talk with these artists all the time about their projects. Like, yo, what are you working on? Well, not all of them, but Ark is somebody that I definitely talk with regularly about shit, Yeah. And we're trying to do some real takeover shit, Ark is extremely, extremely talented, and his history is very heavy. Like people are not aware of exactly how much he's done. And you can go back to he did shit for Coolio, but then you can go as current as Mark Hami. He's done shit for Mark Hami and Fahim, So that to me is like that's special, So that's somebody that you'll also be seeing me work with. We have a project with a rapper. I don't know if I want to announce it just yet, but
okay.
It's that shit. Me and Ark and this MC who's dope as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Real dope. Real dope. Real dope. Yo, this is there's this project. All right. So my brother Pete, salute to my brother Raw Wattage and my brother Large Professor. You know what I'm saying? Like those two dudes, family, family to me. And they have a project called Down South Up Top. And let me tell you, like this is special. This is really dope project, like entirely produced by Large Pro, but not what you're expecting. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, it's dope. Like this shit is so dope. And it's been a lot of work to try to bring that project to the finish line, to the vinyl. Like there's still some stuff that has to go on with the mastering. But I got so much love for both of them. And I really, really want to help them bring that project into physical form. And, we've run into a couple of hurdles, but, hurdles shouldn't discourage you from continuing the race and finishing that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So salute Raw Wattage, salute Large Pro. Yo,
Ron in the
family,
comments,
man.
tonight,
Like, so Down South Up Top, I really want to bring that shit to physical form. And I can't give you an ETA on that, but yo, Raw Wattage, and Large Pro, that project is so fucking dope, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I'll also, man, like, I got 45 King stuff that he gave me to press before he passed. That like, I was just kind of like, okay, I want to accumulate a couple more to make it a more well-rounded record.
Yeah.
But I know there will be something that, like, you'll see 45 King records come back with actual vinyl, and that it'll be me at the helm, me and the family. But there's a couple that like he gave me, and they may come out on thick crates. I'm not sure, but there's some stuff that I've been holding in the stash, 45 King stuff that, I really want to get it out there. You know what I'm saying? And there's just so much paperwork. When you're settling in a state with that many contracts and that much music, there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. So we could be working on that for another year for all I know. But when that's clear, you will see that happen. You will see some new 45 King shit. Yo, let me just tell you, there's reel to reels. Like I could show you guys demo CDs of shit, beats that never came out, remixes that never came out. Yo, it's King. He was making a beat every day. Sometimes I see him make 2 or 3 a day. I call him in the morning. He was working on one. I call him in the afternoon. Oh, that one's finished. I'm starting another one. I call him in the evening. Oh, that shit's done. You know what I'm saying? I'm working on this third one. Like, but it was for the most part, it was like at least one a day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's a huge.
I got a bunch of crazy shit in my phone that he just
did he send you, right?
Yeah, he sent me.
And he was like, yo, what you think of this, C-Dot? Tell me what you think of this. Yo, but play it in your speakers, though. Don't play it in your phone. Play it in your speakers. Tell me how
play it in speakers. Yep.
I know exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So you will see some more 45 King stuff. Let me think. Yo, let me put it like this. 2025 is booked. Like, it's already spoken for. Like, and it's fucked up because I saw Too Tough hit in the message. He was like, yo, I want to do it different. Yeah. I love the Tough crew. You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of a thing where I have to make sure I'm not putting too much on my plate because I still want to be here for you guys in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? And if I fuck around and take on too much at one time, it's just going to bury. I'm not going to be able to be the thick crates that you guys want me to be. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's very important to maintain that quality standard and also to not overwhelm myself. Len had told me something when we were working on the Capital Gains project on shipping it. Because we sold like, I think it was like 1,500 copies of that fucking record. And those are all getting shipped out of my house. You know what I'm saying? That's not some shit where like I'm literally hand numbering all of those stickers. So those number stickers you see on those, like that's me. You know what I'm saying? And then we're packing and shipping that shit out. it was months. When I tell you these motherfuckers at the post office know me on a first name basis, I kid you not. That shit is like, yo, what's up, Paul? Like, crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta go take one of the dudes a fucking Heavy Archives 11 cassette. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like, I sent out a package of him the other day. He was like, yo, what's in here? I was like, cassettes. He was like, cassettes? I'm like, yeah, motherfucking cassettes. He was like, I still make cassettes too. He was like, word? It's like, where the fuck do you do that? So I gotta go take him one. You know what I mean? Like, that's how me and the post office is right now. But there are absolutely other projects that you will see with me and Jazz soon as well. And I did not. Sorry, Frankie, I didn't mean to wait till last. Maybe I saved the best for last. But yo, Jazz soon is, man, that's one of my favorite producers out right now. And I absolutely, like, I am so proud to be working with him. I feel honored, you know, I really do feel honored. And to be able to see this new wave of progress for him and all of this vinyl shit, because before, you know, it was a lot of tapes, but it wasn't a ton of vinyl getting manufactured. Now it's like, yo, he's hitting you with a new vinyl. I think we did like 5 last year. You know what I'm saying? Just last year. So, yo, if I could put out a new record every week, I would, because he has enough like music to do that shit. I have to be like, yo, shit, slow down, man. I'm you know, we're gonna get to these, you know. So but you will also see a lot more work with me and Jazz soon. And you know, there's a project that me and Prince Poetry from Organize have been working on for a long time. And I don't know if it's something that'll drop this year, because yo, life happens. Projects should be organic, you know. Like, I don't want to be forcing, you know, calling, yo, what's up with that verse? Where did you fuck that? Like, let's have fun and make this shit. Take your time, you know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy it. Let art be art. You know? So I'm not sure if that will happen this year, but you will see something from me in Prince Poetry as well. And that's my fucking bro, you know. Salute to him.
That's dope. That's dope. Paul, tell everybody where they can contact you, follow you, and get
absolutely
purchase stuff from Thick Crates.
So right now, Thick Crates is on Instagram at THICK CR8S. And we're doing stuff directly right now because this is essentially by us for us, you know? And so you can't get these records at, like, you know, if you go to like towerrecords.com or something, like, they're not there. You can only get these from us. And this is, I think this speaks also to sort of the ethos of like the independent hustle. Because that's how we've been running these releases, and yo, they're selling out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're actually, and okay, so something like Mickey Diamond's, you know, Mickey Diamond and Camouflage Monk, you're doing 1,500 copies. Got to do a website for that. 1,500 orders, a lot to track, but 200, I can handle that shit. Come on, you know what I'm saying? That's light work. So right now, you can only get those direct from us on Instagram. So you got to reach out and shoot the DM. But this is so that we can interact with you guys. We want to know who's buying this shit. You know what I'm saying? If I could go send my records to some drop company and let them sit in a fucking warehouse and the drop company ships the shit out. I never get to communicate with the buyers if that happens. You know what I'm saying? But I've met mad dope people buying records from them. And I've also met mad dope people selling records to them. You know what I'm saying? So I love that interaction. Yo, if you talk with the fans, they'll tell you, like, yo, Crates, that motherfucker is dope. Like, you know, I did this order and he sent me this extra shit. And that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? That means a lot. And it's not present even in the current underground rap vinyl model. Like, for a lot of these other labels that are doing underground rap, you'll get your package. You know what I'm saying? You might get like one sticker in the shit, but you're not gonna get a motherfucker that's like, yo, you know, you could chop it up about shit. Yo, I threw a little something extra in there for you. I know you were looking for this out of print one. I just so happen to have one kicking around. Here you go. That's hip hop shit right there. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't know of any other places any other labels that are doing that. And that's no knock to them. Yo, respect to all of you, because I'm new, and certainly I watched everybody that was here before me doing it. But I also feel like there are some things that are maybe missing that I would like to add into the mix. So, so yeah, catch me on Instagram, shoot the DM. We could chop it up about old records. You want to talk about that rare 45 that you can't find? Yo, I might have 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? You looking for a sealed pussyfooter original 12-inch, the Canada shit, not the little bootleg shit. Yo, I might have that too. You know what I'm saying? Y'all motherfuckers laughing and shit. I'm dead serious, man.
We
know it's true.
Yeah. So
we know it's true.
You know, that's what it is. Reach out, say what's up. I'll talk with you about the new fucking Rome Streets drop that happened last week. Like I'm plugged into all of that, and it's a part of like what I'm trying to build as a movement here. You know what I'm saying? So a major piece of that is interaction. So right now, you got to reach out to us to get them, And again, there were some of these bigger projects, Boldy James and shit like that. Like, it's going to be hard to keep track of that many orders. So you'll see a website. But for right now, get it direct. You know what I'm saying? Hit us up direct. Hit me, hit Jazz soon. Get that shit, because I guarantee you in 10, 15 years, when these dry up, you're not going to find them. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be in collections, and people are going to hold on to them for dear life. So get down now, because it's not like we pressing thousands of these. Certain ones we might only do 200, maybe even 100 on a low run. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you're paying them Discogs prices, and that shit gets crazy. You already know. So
yep, exactly. Well, Paul, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Yo,
man.
thank you all. I hope to do it again. We got to show off records.
Yo, most definitely.
Too.
And also,
of course,
yo, you got to come back, because you made me think of something that like we haven't touched on, and that was the tape trading era.
Oh yeah. Of course. We can get into all that, man.
Shit, that's like a crazy, other section that like people don't talk about that stuff.
Right, and yo, I could do this shit all day long with y'all. Like, we're I can tell that we're of the same ilk. We're of the same cloth. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. All right. Well, then it's a date. We'll have you back.
All right. So, beautiful. I can't wait to come back.
Everybody, thank you so much.
Peace, everybody.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
All right. There it is.
There go your 45 King stories.
Man. Oh, I miss that guy. He was so cool. He was so cool. Like crazy growing up listening to his music, and then getting to talk to him and shit. And like he would just call me and be like, he always FaceTimed you. It's like, yo, what's up? And I'm like, hey, Mark, what's going on? It's like, oh, nothing. I'm just here, watching some shows. And then he's like, hey, check this out. And he like play me some shit. I'm like, what is this? He's like, oh, just some shit I made. I'm like, Mark, god damn it, man.
God damn 45 King.
Oh, he was so dope. Miss that guy.
I had to pop in and just say I was pulling up on YouTube the 45 King interview where you said, hey, Mark, if you have that, send it to me so I can hear it on the speakers. Yep. Just had to put that in there.
Yes, indeed. Jennifer O'Jenny in the place to be. Yeah, he was so dope. But good stuff.
Yes.
Before we wrap it up, Flatline.
Yes, sir.
New hip hop gods.
Oh my God. Well, hey, thank you for covering last week with your Native Tongues takeover show.
No problem. I had fun. That was fun.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, I did return. New show, real quick. New Doodlebug and 80 Empire, K-Rec and Mocha Only featuring Curious, Amazing Maze featuring Smith & Wesson and Sean Price, Dazzy D, The Grumpy Old Men, a.k.a. Dizzy Dustin and DJ Shag, Thurston Howell III featuring Young Hump, Godfather Don and Jazz Spastics, Wu-Tang Clan, and Anarchitect featuring Pace One. All new music on the show.
Yo, that Thurston Howe, Young Hump, because it's the ultra. Yo, that's
it's crazy. That was the last minute addition to the show. I was like,
I haven't heard that yet, so I gotta check.
It's Ego Trip, yo. That's
great.
Oh no, wait, I did hear that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I did hear that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. How much do we have time for?
Yeah, of course.
Real quick.
Yeah, of course.
Go.
Hey, Ultramag. Shall we play a game?
What the fuck is that? Is that Operation Doomsday Operation?
Are you kidding me? Are you?
Look at this, Ultramag. Look. Oh, look. Oh, look at that.
Where did you get that?
Oh,
bro, what?
Got all the little pieces. It's an actual game. It's like, okay, so I got to shout out Mark, aka Medina Design. You've seen him on Instagram, and
you're wearing the shirt, aren't you?
Yeah, he sent me a Jay Dilla shirt. He's got the new Do the Right Thing print. Anyway, Medina Design on Instagram, X, he's all over the place, and he has made this Operation Doomsday Operation game, working game. It's crazy, and that's available now. Comes with like how to play and like it's like the detail is like nuts. So
wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. It's amazing.
It's a thing.
All right.
There we go.
I hate this guy.
Fantastic stuff. Yeah, so there you go. There's our show, people.
There's the site. That's the site. Go get one. There's only a couple left. He sold most. All right.
Wow.
There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Go get your Operation Doomsday Operation game.
Yep.
And join Flatline, Mr. Chuck D, and myself on Friday for the Angie Don't Stop radio show. 2 hours of stunning hip hop goodness. And I'll be playing the Spit Slam Jam of the week. Flatline's got the hip hop gods, all kinds of other good stuff. Tomorrow night, if you're up late on the East Coast, a little more manageable on the West Coast, check out Dave Sy and Mocha Only. As I'm guessing they'll be through. I never know until the day of, but they should be back with a new episode of Body Hat Weekly, where they'll be going through another record track by track. So last week was Keith Murray and Enigma. So, which was very cool because I hadn't listened to that album in a long time and forgot how much I dug that record.
Dilla beats.
Yeah. And then Sunday with Ultramag 7, Jennifer O'Jenny, and our man DJ Soulbuck, there will be the mixtape. And they'll be playing the music of our next week's guest, which just happens to be DJ Oxygen. All right. Yes. So we'll be back next week with another episode. Huh?
I said yes, that.
Yes, that. Yes. As Jennifer walks around her house. Yeah. So we'll be back next week right here on Channel Zero for with DJ Oxygen for another episode of It's C-Doc Again. Everybody, thank you so much for watching live. Everybody watching on the replay, please like and subscribe. We have a lot of great stuff right here at Channel Zero. And we'll see you next week.